Welcome back to my channel. My name is Angelica Allardyce, and today I am here with It's I. And he's always been wearing white from the past couple years now. So what is behind all these whites?
Yeah, first of all, white is really a spiritual color. White is also an original color. White is right. White is bright. White is the light. And white is really a fashionable color and a very standout color. Now I realize that white have a lot of spirituality to it. So the moment I connect with myself and get the understanding about white, I never leave white and white never leave I. Yeah,
So
so
no, and you're in spirituality, and
yeah.
you always talk about breathing. Um, what differentiates? Mm, yes, I was talking about breathing. How do you breathe properly?
Well, breathing is a whole different aspect about life that 90% of the people don't recognize about how to breathe and how to breathe properly. Now, when a person breathe properly, it make you live longer, stronger, eliminate all aches and pain from your body by just breathing and breathing properly.
So what is your favorite thing about breathing properly?
It should be every one of us favorite thing to breathe properly, not mine's.
The favorite part of breathing properly.
Okay, well, I would just suggest to ones and ones that when you're breathing, you breathe slow and long. Fast breathing does not do any good to your life. Slow, long breathing create oxygen in your body.
Yes.
Fast and short breathing does not create oxygen, because when you breathe short and fast, it just go to the chest and release, so you don't create any oxygen. And we supposed to breathe that here goes to the lungs. Once here goes to the lungs, you create oxygen. Oxygen is what keep our structure in tune, so it eliminates sickness, aches, and pain. When you breathe slow and long, here get enough time to fill the lungs. And what the lungs do is transform the air in oxygen. And oxygen really mean a life source. So when it transforms this life source, what we call oxygen, it send it to the blood. And what the blood do, send the oxygen all through your body to create a proper cells. Let your cells them perform in its true way and fix up back your hormone, fix up back your immune system, so we don't get sick.
What are the biggest challenges with for people to breathe properly?
Wow. People always breathe through their mouth. That is a big challenge that people have, not breathing properly. Most people breathe through their mouth. Our mouth never created to be breathed through. Our nostril is where we're supposed to breathe through, because our nostril, it carry a filter that filters the air going inside before it reaches the lungs. Your mouth does not carry a filter. When you breathe through your mouth, you give yourself more damage. You damage yourself more than anything else. Because we always breathe through our mouth and breathe in bacteria. And the bacteria lodge to our tongue, our jaw, our lip, and goes in and cause all kind of toxin. Mouth breathing does not do me any good. You don't get oxygen from mouth breathing. Because if you notice, when you breathe through your mouth too much, your mouth get dry. When you sleep at night and you wake up in the time of before day or so, and your mouth dry, that means you're not breathing properly, you're not getting any oxygen. Because oxygen is what stabilizes back the body, put it in its right motion so we can function in the right form. So I am just simply saying that nose breathing is the right breathing, and not only the right breathing, but slow and long.
Can you give me an example of breathing and breathing correctly and properly?
Definitely. Because when you breathe like this, most people would breathe like this. That's fast and short. That does not do any good. So for us to breathe in the correct way, you have to breathe slow and long. So your breathing, by the time you should fill your lungs, it would take about 4 to 5 seconds. So you breathe like, and you hold it for a few, then you take your time and release it back through the nostril. And you breathe. So air get enough time to go to the lungs to transform in oxygen so the blood can send it all over the cells. That's why a lot of people get heart attack, because the blood not reaching the heart. The oxygen is not reaching the heart. People who get strokes, no blood not reaching their brains. No oxygen is not reaching their brains. Because why? Fast and short breathing.
So you classified getting heart attack and stroke and all this is because you're not breathing correctly?
Most sickness that people have caused because they are not breathing properly. And remember, oxygen is what creates the structure to function in a true way. You can eat and drink as best as you can. If you are not breathing properly, the eating and drinking really doesn't make sense, because the oxygen from your nostril is the most important mineral that's go to your structure more than food. Food carry oxygen, but most people cook the food, and from you cook the food, put the food and eat, there's no oxygen in the food anymore.
So are you suggesting that we eat raw food, uncooked food?
Raw, live food. If you even cook the food, you have to cook the food on low fire. Low fire. Most people cook their food on high fire. So it keep bubbling up, and all the nutrients is evaporating away. So all you are eating now is just the sensitiveness of the food.
But cooking the food high or low is the same cooking. That's how I see it.
Yeah?
I don't see any difference with it cooking it, only cooking it on a higher flame than a lower flame.
Okay. You ever recognize some people who steam vegetable? Some people steam vegetable like them a boil the vegetable till it's soft. While some people just steam the vegetable, and when you take it off, it's crunchy.
Yeah.
So two of them is fire food,
Yes.
but one is totally different. So you can get nutrients from the crunchy one because it is not soft for all the nutrients to evaporate out. So you can get nutrients from that, but you don't get much. As when you breathe properly, you get everything. You can eliminate all sickness through breathing properly.
So you're saying that if if I am breathing properly, I'm not supposed to have any sickness or ailments
Definitely.
because I am breathing. But most people who do yoga and such like that,
Mhm.
they breathe, and I
Mhm.
guess they're breathing properly in their terms. And most of them are still sick because they're doing yoga for the sickness and they're still sick for many years and yet still they're breathing properly and correctly to their knowledge.
Okay. All right. From birth, people don't breathe properly. From birth. As a matter of fact, when a child born, a child will breathe properly until the age about 5.
Okay.
After that,
Yeah.
it's a different total type of breathing. And some of them even start to breathe wrong from even 3 because of the type of food that they are getting.
Not necessarily.
Yeah.
I
yeah.
think they're breathing through their mouth sometimes because they have a cold and stuffiness.
Okay. The cold comes from what they have been
Weather
intaking.
From what they have been taking in.
Yeah. Because most of the feeding them that the mothers are giving the child them, they are dairy product.
Yes.
So they form pus inside of the child from that early stage. A child at 1 year old should never have cold.
Why not?
No, because if you give the child the right nutrients from your breast,
Yes, but you're not going to feed a child. After 6 months, there's nothing nutritious left in the breast for the child.
Everything leave nutritious. Everything is in the breast nutritious
All the
until the child is 5.
No.
Just a minute,
Yes,
please.
yes,
Just a minute.
yes.
Just a minute. There's things that people don't know because of the teaching that we get over the years. So we always get some wrong teaching. A child should live on his mother's breast until that child win that child's self by not taking any more. The parents not supposed to stop the child, and most of the children them who win themselves is when them reach all 4.
I've never seen that.
Yes,
though.
I've seen that a lot of time. Big picnic. We are run up and down at our school. Still breastfeed, but you hardly find that
Yes.
because everything changed. The people them use the feeding
Yes.
to change the change the children them system. So once you leave the breast and you start give them this feeding now, this toxic feeding.
So you're saying that children should not get dairy product until they're about 6 or
Them shouldn't get any dairy product.
At all.
We shouldn't really consume dairy product. We shouldn't consume
But
it. I'm not fighting against
yes.
dairy product, but in the true health of life, we shouldn't consume dairy product. The breast milk is the true milk for every one of us.
Yes, but from a child, I mean, you can just give a child breast milk from them born until them 5-year-old. They need other ingredients, other minerals.
I did not say no. We were talking about dairy product.
Yes, but
so you don't have to give the child dairy product. There's other things there what you can give the child.
So what can be what you can use to replace dairy product?
You have a lot of natural stuff. Fruits. You
They
can make
need
your own fruit
protein.
juice. Protein.
Yes,
yes,
to give
but
them
protein.
strong bones.
Okay. Protein is the protein that is in dairy product is a toxified protein. You need more natural protein. More protein that it's more natural. Just like how you see the cow in the pasture.
Yeah.
The cow not drink no dairy milk for big and muscular. It's just the grass. The grass full of protein. So the callaloo, the cabbage, all these things having all these elements that that people are differentiating and telling that protein is in milk and this is vitamin C in orange and all these things. Everything is coming from one source of life and everything is packed with everything that you want. Just like breast milk. Breast milk having all nutrients. You cannot count breast milk
I know.
nutrients. It having all nutrients. So you eat an orange, it does not make a difference. The orange having all nutrients same way. Scientists just tell us certain things, our people just tell us certain things and we just live with that. But this is the time for us now to forward within ourselves and find the real truth about what is going on around us and in us. Yeah.
So, let's get back to the breathing. So, breathing, how young you should you teach like a child to breathe properly? Or how old?
Okay. Breathing properly is really a natural thing. It's just we lose that connection. Because even the animal, they breathe properly. That's why them don't make hospital for cow and goat and all these things. Because they breathe properly. It doesn't matter how fast you see an animal traveling, running. He always running with his mouth closed and breathing through his nostril. Because why? He's breathing properly at all times. So oxygen always traveling inside of that life source. Bird, they fly and breathe through their nostril. They don't fly and open their mouth unless them go and make a sound. But they are not.
Yes.
They don't open their mouth to catch breath. They breathe through their nostril, so they will always filled with that electricity, what we call oxygen. Because oxygen really is an electricity that flows in your body and connect the cells them, light up the cells them, so they can brightly let you function in the right manner how we're supposed to function.
So you said breathing electrolytes, oxygen and stuff? Breathing correctly and properly?
Yeah. When you
Help with-
breathe properly, you breathe in electrolyte, otherwise called oxygen.
Yes.
But I rather to say electrolyte because I realize that all of us are walking electricity. Electric keep flowing in our body. Some people have a high dose of electricity. Some have a less.
What do you mean by they have a high dose of electricity?
Okay, so that just coming like the current that goes to your house.
Yeah.
You have 220, 440, 110.
Yeah, 440?
Yeah, 440 current is what mostly run in business place.
Okay.
Right. So, I am going to match our structure in terms of with the electricity that flows to the house. We were all created with a high dose of electricity, which is the same oxygen. While we are growing, if we are not connected and living properly, eating properly, drinking properly, breathing properly, those electricity cells keep dying out and the electricity power of the electricity keep dropping. So if you take, for instance, you were born with a 440 voltage.
Yeah.
So when you have a 440 voltage in your body, you can boom flick here, there, and everywhere. You are so flexible, you are so, you just feel like the breeze, like nothing can do you. Because what? You're highly energized with that energy. Along the journey, we stop breathe properly and start to breathe short and fast, so we're not getting that electrolyte anymore. And the electrolyte built in the lungs, which is the energy,
Yeah.
which is the oxygen, built in the lungs and then transferred to the cells. So if you are a person stop breathe properly and not eating properly, your voltage drop and it keep dropping and it keep dropping. So that's why you have 440, you have 220, you have 110. So 110, when your body reach 110 current, it cannot stop disease from entering your body.
Okay.
It cannot stop the disease. Just like if you have a machine, which
Yeah.
is a 220 volt, and if you plug it into a 110,
Yeah.
it not going to move it.
Yes.
It not going to move it. So it's the same thing with our body. Our body is really electrified. Every single soul that you see walking and going around, their body is filled with electricity. All the animals them, all the birds them, all the fishes, all of these things, we have electricity in our body, and it causes through breathing.
So so if we breathe properly, so we're not supposed to be sick or anything like that. So it doesn't matter what we eat or drink because we're breathing properly. So
Definitely.
our body don't get sick that easily.
No, it cannot get sick. And the thing is that when you breathe properly, you create oxygen. Oxygen is what clean up the body.
But you don't think you need some minerals or nutrients to
All
comfort
of that what you are talking about is in the breathing.
breathing?
All of what you are going for in the breathing, and it in the breathing in its true form. What you are going for physically, food, for mineral and all these things is human plant them. Most of them human plant. Like take for instance all these fruits. Human plant them.
Yes, but it was created for us to have
Yes, but it
as
didn't
our
create.
food.
It did not create for human to plant. It create for nature to plant and grow. Just like when you have a mango tree. You eat a mango and you throw away the seed. And a couple of years it's a big tree filled with mango. Those mango are filled with electrolyte.
Okay.
A man plants some pine and him plant some melon and all these low fruits.
Yes.
They don't have any electrolyte. They don't have, even if they have, they don't have much. As the mango, all the trees them that grow tall, that nature itself just grow, bear, they are more filled with electrolyte. Like mango, June plum, star apple, guinea, all those soursop, those tall trees
Yes.
filled with electrolyte because nature just grew them. And if you get a soursop seed and plant it, you don't get that nutrients from it as the one where you just throw away the seed and it grow.
So what's the difference with just throwing the seed and planting
Because when you throw away the seed,
it?
nature know when to germinate the seed naturally. So nobody not shovel it so it get time to grow.
Okay.
Nobody not disturb it.
Yeah.
So it get a time to manifest as how it to manifest in its true way. So it bring forth the fruit in its true way. Human being come and implant a mango tree, yes so. At the time when him plant the tree, it no must be the right time. Him just want to know say him a plant a mango tree.
Yes.
It no must be the right time. That's why sometimes mango come wormy or sour or fresh. And him go and him dig up around it, which him not supposed to dig up around it because nature don't dig up around it when it's planting. So there's a lot of difference in life that people don't really have the understanding about life. We just living because we see say we feel live. And the teaching where we get, we just live off a teaching where we get. And we don't know the fullness for ourselves.
So how you come by with all this information about breathing and all the body structure and such?
You see, when you want something, you work for it.
So you wanted this?
Yeah.
How long have you been working for it?
Well, I've been vibesing and meditating and viewing life in its true way and in my conscious way from about 1996.
96?
96, and now it's 2021. So I gather a lot of information, not through book, not through nothing but just natural nature.
So what did you do?
What did I do?
Yes, to grasp all of this breathing and spirituality.
That's why I tell you that when you want something, you work for it. So I put myself in the position to be who I is now. I put myself, if you don't put yourself in the position, you're not going to know. If you want to be a doctor, you have to put yourself in the position to be a
Okay.
doctor. If you want to be a teacher, you have to put yourself in the position to be a teacher. I put myself in the position to know about life because